Choosing the right gacha game is essentially like going on a million terrible dates, except instead of heartbreak, you end up with a drained bank account and emotional damage. Every gacha game promises you top-tier waifus, husbandos, exciting gameplay, and a thrilling story, but in reality, you're entering a lifetime of suffering, RNG-induced pain, and gacha addiction. Some games have god-tier combat, others have S-tier waifus or husbandos, a deep, compelling narrative, and then there's Fate Grand Order, which ticks multiple different categories, but still looks like a PowerPoint presentation from 2006. Finding the perfect gacha game is like finding a red flag-filled relationship that you're willing to commit to. You know it's toxic, you know it'll hurt you, but you can't walk away because you're in too deep. Which is why I'm here to tell you what I play, and why I play them. You can thank me later. If you love fast-paced action, anime aesthetics, emotional damage, and some of the hottest gacha characters in the genre, then Wuthering Waves is your next addiction. The combat is on steroids. This isn't your usual click, dodge, swing gameplay. Nah, you're doing air combos, parrying like a freaking god and teleporting around like a Dragon Ball Z character. Exploration is basically parkour heaven. Climb? Yeah. Grapple? Hell yeah. Double jump? Of course. Mid-air dash into a wall running acrobatic madness? Absolutely. Forget walking. You're gonna be flipping, dashing, and anime jumping across the ruins of civilization like a caffeinated ninja. And that's just the beginning. Wait till you hit 2.0 with flight, sailing, bear hopping. The story is actually serious and dramatic. The world got absolutely bodied by some mysterious disaster called the Lament. Monsters now roam everywhere, people live in fear, and you, the rover, might be the only one who can stop it. Expect plot twists, tragic backstories, and emotionally devastating moments that'll make you stare at your screen in disbelief. The gacha though, is it good? Is it bad? The answer is yes. It's both. It's a paradox. It's the Schrodinger's cat of gacha systems. Let me break it down. The standard pity for 5-star characters is around 80 pulls, guaranteed after 50-50 loss, meaning if RNG slaps you in the face once, the next time is a guaranteed win, but you'll often see yourself going all the way to hard pity for characters. Weapons are guaranteed at 80 pulls, they actually give you a guaranteed 5-star character early on, so you're not immediately suffering in gacha hell. So, strap in, grab a sword, and start flipping off of buildings like the overpowered anime protagonist you were meant to be. Arknights is what happens when someone takes a tower defense game, injects it with anime war criminals, adds a tragic post-apocalyptic backstory, and says, let's make this as complicated and emotionally devastating as possible. You're the doctor. Not the medical kind, but the mysterious amnesiac commander who wakes up and immediately gets dragged into a war between anime superhumans, corporate overlords, and literal apocalypse monsters kind. Your job? Command an army of genetically enhanced mercenaries with animal ears and an alarming amount of emotional baggage. The gameplay? Tower defense on crack. You're deploying anime operators to hold off waves of increasingly horrifying enemies while dealing with insane mechanics like teleporting assassins, mechs that break your defenses, and enemies who straight up ignore your units because, hey, screw you. That's why. You think this is just place anime units on the map and win? No. Strategy is king. One wrong move, and your entire defense collapses faster than your mental stability. Some enemies don't even care about your defenses. They just walk right past and laugh at you. It's pure suffering. The story is dark, it's tragic and emotionally scarring in the best way possible. You expect betrayals, brutal deaths, and moral dilemmas that make you stare at your screen in existential dread. The soundtrack goes so much harder than it should. Expect orchestral war music, EDM bangers, and anime opening tier theme songs while you struggle to stop a wave of armored enemies from wrecking your defenses. The gacha isn't bad. You get gemless pulls every day via recruitment permits. There are standard and limited banners. Limited banners have a guarantee after 150 total pulls, with a single guarantee only. Arknights is a brutal strategic tower defense game where every battle is a test of intelligence, every operator is a potential war criminal, and every story chapter is emotional devastation waiting to happen. Play it if you love deep strategy, amazing characters, and suffering. Avoid it if your brain melts under pressure or if you cry easily. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. NIKKE is a game that looks like a fan service shooter, but secretly hides an emotional roller coaster of war, tragedy, and tactical combat behind its strategically placed camera angles. You're the commander. Your job? Lead an army of hyper-lethal, ultra-stylized battle androids called NIKKEs to fight against monstrous robots called Raptors. Also your job? Try to focus on the gameplay while every single character is built like they were designed in a lab to bankrupt your wallet. This game knows what it's doing. You hold your phone vertically, you aim at enemies while your squad is strategically positioned to maximize immersion, and every time you fire a weapon, physics happen. Yeah, those physics, you know what I mean. The gameplay is basically anime Gears of War with the side of fan service. It's a cover-based shooter, meaning you aim, you take cover, and you blast enemies to smithereens. Do you need to be good at shooters? No, just hold the screen, auto-fire does the rest, and occasionally spam your skills like an absolute maniac. Every single unit is a deadly war machine, wearing the most impractical combat outfits imaginable. With jiggle physics so advanced, they should be studied by NASA. The world is completely screwed. Humanity lives underground, NIKKEs fight and die in horrifying ways, and you're constantly dealing with moral dilemmas, betrayal, and gut-wrenching character deaths. You'll be having a great time one moment and suddenly hit with a cutscene that punches you right in the gut emotionally. The soundtrack and voice acting in this game are absolute bangers. Hyped up boss music, check. Orchestral battle themes, check. Emotional, heart-wrenching songs that play when your favorite character dies, also check. Additionally, every NIKKE has top-tier voice acting that makes their tragic backstories hit even harder. The gacha is decent. You're rewarded with so many free 10 pulls every year that you'll likely have more pulls than waifus to pull for. While there's no 50-50, there is a guarantee at 200, but NIKKE has some of the highest individual acquisition rates in the gacha genre. Play it if you want a unique, easy to pick up shooter with incredible waifus, amazing designs, and a genuinely gripping story. Punishing Grey Raven is an adrenaline-filled, beautifully tragic cyberpunk RPG where you fight killer robots, you execute god-tier combat moves, and you cry over androids with tragic backstories. Punishing Grey Raven is basically a fighting game on steroids. There's no turn-based nonsense here, just pure, unfiltered action combat. Dodge at the right time, boom, slow motion counterattack like you're in the Matrix. The game literally rewards you for attacking stylishly, because if you're not flexing on enemies, are you even playing correctly? Everyone here is an android killing machine, but also insanely attractive because, you know, science, waifus, yeah, husbandos, yeah. Every character has a tragic backstory, questionable morality, and enough cyberpunk fashion to make you question why real life isn't this cool. If you're looking for a deep, complex story, think near levels of sadness, but with extra guilt, betrayals, and robot existential crises. The villains are terrifying, the stakes are high, and every chapter gets progressively darker. The music is straight up god tier, the boss themes will make you want to punch the final boss in real life. Every update drops absolute bangers, so expect your playlist to get hijacked. In terms of gacha, limited banner characters have a 60 pull pity, guaranteeing you the limited banner character very early. There's no 50-50 at all. The weapon banner has an 80-20 with pity at 30 pulls. The gacha is honestly one of the most free-to-play friendly out there. Play it if you love fast-paced action, deep story, and ultra-stylish gameplay. Girls Frontline 2 Exilium is a brutal tactical RPG where you command a squad of badass gun-wielding waifus through war-torn chaos and deep political conspiracies. It's Girls Frontline, but cranked up to 11 with a darker story, fully 3D battles, and tactical warfare so deep it makes your brain hurt. You? Still the commander. Your job? Leading an army of battle-ready gun-wielding waifus into a war-torn dystopian hellscape where literally everything is trying to kill you. The world completely fallen apart. The waifus somehow getting hotter and more lethal at the same time. There are no more chibi sprites. Now it's full 3D tactical warfare with battle formations, cover systems, and enough depth to make your brain overheat. Deploy, reposition, flank enemies, manage resources. It's basically chess with anime girls holding military-grade weapons. These aren't just gun-toting anime girls, they are advanced military androids with deadly efficiency, dramatic backstories. I'm beginning to see a theme here with the games I play, and an alarming amount of sass. And fan service, oh, it is there, especially with the dormitory feature. But also, these girls could absolutely dismantle an entire army without breaking a sweat. If you thought Girls Frontline 1 was dark, the sequel throws you straight into a political nightmare of corporate wars, bioengineered soldiers, and rogue AI factions. Gacha isn't technically bad. It utilizes a 50-50 with a guarantee at 160 pulls like Wuthering Waves. However, the rate for SSR hero acquisition is 0.6%, which is really low, unfortunately. Weapon banners have a 70 pull guarantee. Play it if you love tactical gameplay, deep military lore, and anime girls with big ass guns. Imagine if Zelda, a gacha game, and a shitpost loving dev team all had a baby. That baby is Guardian Tales. This game is an action-packed, puzzle-solving, gacha-fueled, fourth-wall breaking, meme-infested RPG that absolutely refuses to take itself seriously. And I can't get enough of it. You're the Guardian, a lowly knight whose job was supposed to be guarding a princess, but oops! Everything goes wrong in the first 5 minutes, and now you're on a chaotic, world-saving journey filled with delightful walking memes, ridiculous bosses, and more pop culture references than your brain can handle. I kid you not, the story is a fever dream of memes and absolute nonsense. Serious RPG plot? Nah. This game is a shitpost wrapped in a heartfelt adventure. Expect parodies of movies, anime, video games, and even dank internet memes. 1 minute you're fighting a dragon, the next you're in a town full of people worshipping a buff muscular goddess of destruction named Linda. NPCs are very self-aware and roast you constantly. There's an entire arc making fun of MMO players who never touch grass. You dodge, slash, and smash enemies into oblivion with various weapon types, abilities, and big brain strategies to defeat absurdly weird bosses. In terms of gacha, you earn a lot of currency in-game. SSR rates are 2%, a lot higher than Girls Frontline 2, but I don't recall there being a guarantee present. Weapons are similar with a 3% rate of acquisition instead. Thankfully, you're given a free random SSR early in the game. Guardian Tales is a love letter to classic RPGs, meme culture, and absolute chaos, wrapped in a surprisingly deep and addictive gameplay loop. Play it if you love action RPGs and unhinged humor. And that is everything. They're the games that I currently play and enjoy. I've played Path to Nowhere, Snowbreak, Epic 7, Zenless, and so many other fantastic gacha games as well over the last 6 months, but these are the games that maintain my attention, my interest, long term. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.